Today, we're going to talk about the power of attorney. It's a basic element of anybody's estate planning. You recommend all folks think about this at any number of ages that you're out there, Stewart Welch.
I think, yeah, once you're an adult and can have a document, this would be the #1 document you'd want to have.
Especially when you have people who depend upon you, a wife, children, all of that, right?
Well, really, anybody. I mean, basically, the power of attorney document says if you become incompetent, you've nominated somebody to be the agent to act on your behalf for all financial matters.
Okay. When you say that, the power of attorney, simple way of doing this, explain.
Well, if you don't do it and you become incompetent, somebody, typically a family member, has got to hire an attorney, go to court. The court issues a very restrictive power of attorney, and it can be very expensive and very time-consuming. So this is just a simple document that kind of cuts through all of that.
And go on and do it now while you are fine and capable of making those decisions, and hope you never have to enact it at some point, but knowing that there is always that protection if you do. But there are some complications when we talk about this now. Explain.
So what we've seen is a trend where financial institutions have been refusing to accept power of attorney under certain circumstances. So we had just a quick example. We had a case where somebody was incompetent. We used a power of attorney to try to transfer money from their IRA because of the required minimum distribution. The federal government says you have to do it or a 50% penalty, and the financial institution wouldn't do it because the power of attorney didn't talk about the required minimum distribution in the document. Okay. So what happened is Alabama, this was a trend, Alabama attorneys got together and they drafted legislation, a new power of attorney that mandates the financial institutions actually accept the power of attorney. If they don't, they have under threat of some financial penalties. It also gives them some legal protections. But that is effective January of this year. So everybody who has a power of attorney thinks they're okay ought to rethink that and consider the new one.
Okay, and reconsider that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about a report that you have that you make available out there, talking about the legacy trust. You say a lot of folks have been asking. You mentioned it recently. Tell me a little bit about this.
So the legacy trust is simply a concept about taking your money that you're going to leave your children typically and putting it in a trust for a long time. And under the old Alabama law, the longest you could leave it in trust was 75 years. They again passed some legislation last year, effective January of this year, that allows you to hold money in trust for 360 years. And the legacy trust really talks about the concept of why you would want to do that. And we put together a free report on legacy trust for anybody who's interested.
Okay, you can email Stewart at stewart@welchgroup.com. He'll send that information to you and explain it. You said you heard a lot of requests for that. So
yeah, a lot of people have been very interested in this.
It's good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Rick.
Okay, more to come on